Welcome to The Explainer. So today we are going to pull back the curtain on something pretty fundamental. What actually happens when you decide to take someone to court?
So, have you ever wondered how a lawsuit really gets off the ground? It's not all about yelling objection in a courtroom, you know. It's actually this super precise, rule-based journey that starts way before a judge even sees your face.
All right, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with, just getting your case started. Then we'll get into the court's ticking clock, super important. We'll also cover who can actually speak for you in court. And finally, we'll look at when the state itself might jump in.
Okay, let's get right into it. Section 1. Starting your legal case. This is all about how you take a simple disagreement and turn it into something the court system has to formally deal with.
So getting the ball rolling on a lawsuit really comes down to 3 key steps. First, you got to write everything down on what's called a claim form. Think of it as your official story. Second, you file that form with the court clerk. That's what makes it official. And third, and you can't skip this, you have to let the other person know, hey, you're being sued. You have to announce it.
Now, this claim form, it's no joke. It's the blueprint for your entire case. You need the full official details for everyone involved. The plaintiff, that's you if you're suing, and the defendant. You have to list the specific court, give them an address where they can send you stuff, and then you've got to write a short, clear summary of what happened and what proof you have. And maybe most importantly, you have to tell the court exactly what you want them to do. Then you sign it. Everything, and I mean everything, builds on this piece of paper.
All right, so your case is filed, but don't get too comfortable, because the second you do that, a bunch of invisible clocks start ticking. And in the legal world, let me tell you, deadlines are not just suggestions. They are everything.
Okay, check this out. Your first big deadline, 30 days. That's it. From the moment you file that claim, you have exactly 1 month to officially let the defendant know. If you miss that window, poof, the whole case is considered void. It's like it never even happened. Seriously.
And there's another countdown to watch out for. If for some reason the case just sits there with no action from either side for 60 days straight, the court will literally just toss it out. It gets struck from the record. The system is built to keep moving forward, not to let things collect dust.
This table is super interesting because it shows how the system's timelines aren't one size fits all. See, for a regular case in a primary court, you get about 10 days to prepare for an appearance. But as you move up the ladder to the appellate or Supreme Court, you get more time, 15 or 20 days, because, well, the cases are more complex. But look at that minimum deadline column. If things are urgent, a judge can say, nope, you've only got 3 days. It really shows you how flexible the system has to be.
So, okay, you filed your case, you're nervously watching all these clocks tick down, and you might be thinking, do I have to do all this by myself? The answer is no. Let's talk about who can actually speak for you in court.
Right, so your first thought is probably, I need a lawyer. And yeah, of course you can hire one. But what's really fascinating is who else the law says can represent you. Your spouse can do it. So can your relatives, like your parents or siblings, even cousins. And get this, your in-laws can even go to bat for you, as long as they're within what the law calls the 4th degree of family connection.
But here's a really critical point. Not all representation is created equal. There's a huge difference between a general and a special power of attorney. A general one lets your agent do the day-to-day stuff, like filing papers and follow-ups. But if they're going to make a huge case-ending decision, like admitting you were wrong, agreeing to a settlement, or just dropping the whole thing, they need a special power of attorney. It has to explicitly give them the power to make those big calls.
And this quote, this really hits home how much trust is involved. It says that whatever your agent decides while you're sitting right there in the room is legally considered your decision. Unless you literally jump up and say, wait, no, I don't agree. Their words are your words. It's a huge deal.
Okay, so we've covered you, the defendant, and your representatives. But there is one last really powerful player that can show up on the scene. And it's not a person, it's the state itself, in the form of the public prosecutor.
So what do? Well, their main job is to be like a guardian for the public interest. They can actually start a lawsuit themselves or jump into an existing one if they feel like the law itself or the good of society is on the line.
So when would they actually step in? Well, it's usually in really sensitive situations. Think about cases involving kids or adults who can't legally make decisions for themselves. Or in really personal, complicated matters like figuring out who a child's parent is or what to do with the estate of someone who's gone missing. Basically, when someone can't speak for themselves and has no one else to do it for them, the prosecutor can be their voice.
As you can see, starting a lawsuit is like navigating this maze of super precise rules, strict deadlines, and specific roles. Every single step is carefully laid out. And that kind of leaves us with a big question to chew on, right? With a system this rigid, is the main goal just to have a perfect, by-the-book procedure? Or is all that structure the only real way we can even hope to get to perfect justice? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer.